Okay guys, ready to go. My colours are mixed up. So the colours I'm using today is pink green, smoky amethyst and muted mauve. So my muted mauve is going to be for my root area, and my smoky amethyst, my pink dream, are for my smudging colour into my root. So that's for the rest of the remainder of the colour. So how I do it is, when I'm using a few colours, I always put a bowl and put my colour right next to it so I don't get mixed up, because these all look the same. So I've got 3 bowls, look, they're all the same colour. So I have to put my colour. So it's a good wee tip just to always put a wee post-it next to your bowl so you know what your colours you're using. The only colour I'm using right this minute is this mauve, okay? So I'm also going to use, in fact, the mixing of that is 1:1. Normally in Colour Touch it's 1:2, so it's 1 part Colour Touch to 2 parts Developer. But with Instamatics it's equal parts, it's 1:1 and it's 1.9. I'm also going to use the Colour ID today, which makes this so that I can paint this freehand and nothing goes into anything else. So what I'm going to do is, for every 10 mils of colour, I'm going to put 1 ml of Colour ID in, and I'll show you how it works in a second. So I'm not putting in my root colour, no worries about my root colour too much. I'm going to put in my ends colour, okay? So I've mixed up 30 mils in my pink dream, so I'm going to put in 3 mils, and I'll show you where it is on this. If you have a real look, that's me right up to 3 mils, okay? See if you look there, oops, sorry, 3 mils, okay? So 3 mils going in pink dream. You don't include your developer in that. So if I've got 30 mils of colour and 30 mils of developer, I only count my 30 mils of colour. I don't put 6 mils of this, I only put 3 in. So it's only on my colour. So again, I'm wanting to get another 3 mils in. Come on, a wee bit more in this. Come on. No plain. That's us, 3 mils in my amethyst. Okay, right, I'm going to show you a wee trick. Okay, so I mix it in, so I only mix this in once my colours mix together. Right, look what happens. Look, I can turn it upside down. Right, so it is like, it's like a wee sponge, look. It's like a wee sponge, okay? So that's when you know that the Colour ID's worked. When you can turn your bowl upside down, you can feel it, it just goes into a really thick paste, okay? So what I'm going to do quickly is just put this root drag on. Now remember, when you're working in a root drag, you have to work very, very quickly. Now I'm working on shampooed, towel dried hair. Just because I want the colour more muted, and I also want it to last me a bit longer. Here I go again, you would think everything's coming out of my pocket. So I'm going to just paint round my back section here, but I'll show you in a second once I put this wee bit on. I'm just working in a section at a time to make sure I cover everything. Now remember, don't cut corners with colour, right? Now, I've been doing this since I was 16, and I'm certainly older than 21 now, and I never cut corners with colour, never, because I know I've done it in the past. I've done it in the past, and I'll tell you, that is when you realise this is not worth it at all. So when you're doing any kind of root colour, I don't know if it's beheaded, I'm sorry about that. Right, so when you're doing any kind of root colour, okay, when I'm doing it, any root smudge, I make sure that I'm pushing it in, but I'm quite messy with my application. I don't want it neat because I don't want a line, okay? The secret is to do this really, really quickly. You need to do it quickly, okay? So I'm just doing it as quick as I can here, and I'm just working up my sections. Okay, and I'm just flattening it, and I've not been fussed where I'm putting it. See if you see that? I'm just really pushing it through because I don't want to see where something started and stopped. hate a line. You've probably gathered that by now right enough, but hey ho. Okay, so I'm just pushing that right in. And I'm going to work on all my back sections first. I might actually need more colour, in fact, and that's... I've never used these heads before. It's actually goat's hair, believe it or not, and it's absorbing the colour right in. So this is a new learning experience for me. Okay, so I'm pressing it in and I'm pushing it down. It's not starting to change colour yet. I'll start to see once it starts to change colour, I'll start to see if I've missed any bits. Whereas just now it looks clear. And I'm pressing it right into my root area, down. I like this combination. I really like the Instamatics. That's what I've got in mine as well actually, but mine's is starting to fade out. But I've got a mixture of muted mauve, smoky amethyst and pink dream in the, just in the one colour, equal parts. But I put a bit of Tomorrow's Clear in as well just to dilute it down. But obviously my hair was really quite purpley at first, which I don't mind, because I know it fades out. But it's quite good because I'm getting different tones as it's coming out. But my hair feels great, it feels in great condition because of the colour touch. The colour touch is just phenomenal, condition wise. Okay, so basically I'll start to merge that in. See, as soon as I start to put my other colour in, I'll start to smudge that all in together. But I'm just going through it just to make sure that I've got every bit. Okay, right through. Always, again, make sure you've got a paper towel with you to clean your hands, especially when you're using different colours. Now, when I'm doing this, I'm just doing random pieces, and I'll show you because when I'm doing, if I was doing precision work, obviously I would be doing foils and separate my colour, but I don't want to do that because I want to just put different colours through it. But I don't want to think about where I'm putting it, so I'm just really putting it wherever I feel like it. Because I quite like that look, because it's just kind of natural and not too done, because there's nothing worse than something that's too done looking, especially with anything like this, because it can look liney. Okay, so I'm just putting this on as quick as I possibly can, guys, right? I'm just trying to do it as fast. When you're doing this in the salon, you need to do this quickly. You need to do this very quickly, because if not, lines can start to appear when it starts to dry in. That's how it's quite good to do it on shampoo towel dry tape as well. It softens it a bit for you. So I'm nearly done with this back section, and then I'll move on to the front. And there's where the work starts. This is only just giving me a kind of wee shadowy route. Hopefully it takes it, because it doesn't even look as if it's changing colour just now. So hopefully it takes it. But I'll leave it quite a good wee bit to develop. These are great, these colours. The good thing about them as well is they don't last too long. It can be an advantage and a disadvantage. Be an advantage as in if you wanted just something for a wee change, so you want to put a wee bit of pink in, you know it's not going to last you. It's only going to last maybe 10 shampoos if you're lucky. But it fades out. So what colour you see this when you wash it, it fades out. So I'm just keeping beheading her today for some reason. What's the matter with you? She's not wanting to sit on this very well. There you go. There you go. Right, so I'm just going to work up these sides, exact same as what I've just done. So I'm just doing it as quick as, because I want to work on the blending. Okay. You can all put a root on. You know what you are doing. But if you notice how quickly I'm putting this on, very quick. Still no changing colour. Come on, change colour. We've just got these heads. I've never used these heads before, so hopefully they're okay. I don't want to do all this work and you can't see it. Might just take a wee bit longer. No, it's not. Nearly done here, guys, and I'll go to the next side. It's starting to change a bit now. Obviously, you get a much truer colour on a client that you would on these heads, but I'm hoping you get quite a good bit of colour on this, fingers crossed. I'm just going to lift up here to make sure I've got plenty around the hairline. When you're doing it on kind of towel dried hair, the results are a lot softer. And sometimes, to be honest with you, the easiest things to do is a kind of root smudge. It's very, very easy as long as you're quick. But if you're not quick, it can be a disaster. More left to this mold, so I'm going to just saturate round about these roots here and just put another wee bit on it. When you're doing it as well, you're trying to stay away from doing just like a root. You're actually dragging it down as you're going along. Right, so when I'm here, I'll just push that to see where it goes. I'm not really worried if it goes down further, because I don't want something that's going down the same amount, because then I'm just creating a line. Always remember, never do anything just as in a root. It's got to be a root drag or a root smudge or melt or whatever you want to call it. It has got to merge down from the root into the ends, or you won't get a blend. I think worst case scenario, this will just tone it, but if it just tones it, I'll put something else on it. It's starting to, it looks as if it's starting to come now. Another thing as well, when hair is quite yellow, it's actually really good to double tone. So what I mean with double tone is putting a toner on, like a silver toner on first, and then putting your toner on, because what happens is, when you're putting your toner on, as you know, it neutralises the colour. So sometimes when you put your chosen toner on, so say you put a right violet toner on, but you want a violet result, if you put your violet toner over yellow, it'll just neutralise that yellow and get it back to a kind of neutral colour. So it'll get back to a blonde. But if you neutralise with the violet, get it to a nice blonde, and then put your violet over the top of it, it's got nothing to neutralise. So you'll get your true tone on top of it. So double toning's great. I tend to double tone quite a lot with blondes, and sometimes I just do it with silver shampoo and just leave that on for maybe 10-15 minutes. And sometimes that's enough to do me. Not all the time, sometimes I need something stronger than that. But a lot of the time that's enough to do me with double tone. Right, you can do it with the Colour Fresh, Colour Create, anything like that. I'll just paint my floor there. Okay, right, so now I've got my root on. I'm going to now start okay, so I'm now going to start with my pink and my amethyst. So I'm cleaning my hands. Okay, now this is where I start with all the smudging in. I'm not even worried about what I'm starting with. So I'm just going to just pick sections and I'm just going to put what I want on it. So I'm going to start at the bottom here, okay? Then you can do a couple of things when you're doing this, right? I don't really want to put that on there. You can do a couple of things when you're doing this. You can comb that root through, so you can comb it through here, right, to get the blend, right? Paint it on. Now I'm painting this on, right, and I'm really merging this in, but I'm pushing the two colours, can you see that? So I'm merging the two colours together so that I don't get a line, okay? And I'm going to do the exact same here. If I can get this right. This doesn't want to stay on the standard there, okay? So I'm just doing the same again, I'm just doing a wee bit of amethyst. So I'm just painting it on, but it's really thick because it's got the colour ID in it. It's quite good to work with. So look how much I'm rubbing that in, and then I'm blending with my fingers. She's casting. I'm blending with my fingers, okay? Drying my hands now because I'm going on to my pink. Okay? So I'm just taking my next section down. Okay? And I'm just going to take a full back section and I'm going to make that pink. Okay. Again, I'm painting it on quite thick, but with the colour ID it goes on quite thick, so it's really quite good. Quite like this, I like working with the colour ID because it feels like as if you've got, it feels like a bit of silicone. Because look at, you can stick it up and round, look, and you can just make shapes with it. Do you see that? Can you see it on there? I can just make wee shapes with it. And if I was doing a black, a red, a pink, I could actually put them all in together and I won't need any foils, unless the only thing I would say to you is never ever put it near bleach. Don't put it along with bleach because it just doesn't work with that. It'll end up still merging into the bleach or reacting with the bleach, okay? So if you notice, I'm just painting this on, pulling it, and I'm putting plenty on because I quite like having quite a lot of colour on this. Okay. And I'm merging it with my fingers. I'm going to just twist it in, dry my hands again, and I'm just going to continue all the way through, and I'm just picking out wee bits that I want now, so I'm not even going to even think about what I'm picking out, just decide as I'm going along. I don't want to have a set pattern. So there's a bit of amethyst. Okay, dry my hands, I'll have another wee bit, maybe a bit of pink in here. Okay, some pink. My hands. Have another wee bit of amethyst. I don't really want to put section clips in it because I don't want to smudge my colour. So that's the reason I'm just pushing it up. Again, look, see, I'm merging. Can you see that? Put it in my fingers. You see it when I come around the sides here, and I'm merging. going to pick up bits now where I want it. Just random pieces. I'll have amethyst. See, when you're working with soft colours, you can do this. If you were working with really bright, bold colours, you can't really do this. So, because it would look terrible. But when you're working with colours that are soft and tonal colours, it's actually nice just to think about where you're putting them and just put them anywhere, and you'll just get a lovely like kind of shine off it. But when the light hits it, you'll see all the lovely tones going through it. See how quick this is? I mean, it's like so quick. I've practically done the full head. I could charge a lot of money for this. It doesn't take me long. This is a dream. See, when anybody wants this, you're like, yeah, beauty, it's magic. Because it's so much easier than foils and so much less time consuming. But it's a beautiful result. A lot of folk are really getting away from foils now. For a starter, it's the time factor. You're sitting in a chair for hours. It's not always ideal. Maybe folk have kids at school and things. And also, it's very, very expensive to sit and you have to charge a fortune. If you're taking 2-3 hours to do foils and you can do this in like, what, 20 minutes? It's a no-brainer, I think. And it's also good because when the hair grows out, if you're doing like one like this, when the hair grows out, it'll still have nice tones in it through the bottom. So you'll still have your sort of different colours coming through it, which will be nice. Done this side. Just make sure again that saturation of product. Fingers blend in. You want a blend. You certainly don't want any lines going through it. This'll be lovely. It'll be dead soft, but it'll be lovely and tonal. You'll be able to see all the tones. So nice. Natural. See, to be honest with you, it's probably one of the hardest things to do is getting a lovely, lovely blonde tone. It always looks the easiest. Folk think it's the easiest thing to do. No, it isn't. Blonde is the hardest colour to get right. And that's how it's quite nice to use a few different tones in it. Because a lot of folk, it's too ashy for them. A lot of folk, it's too warm for them. So you can do a mixture, and this is what's great about the colour ID as well. You can do a mixture of colours and you don't need to worry about foils. You can just put it through the ends. I mean, this is toning beautiful. It's so soft. You could use this in anybody's hair. Absolutely anybody's hair. I mean, you've seen how yellow that is, and this is just gorgeous. Granted, it'll be brighter if you're on a client, but it's still, the tones are so lovely. And they'll tone it right down and it'll look less brassy. But what I'll do is I've got another head through there as well, another blonde one. When this is finished, I'll show you the other one as a before, right? Which will be really good, and you can see the difference in it. Because you'll find a big difference, even though you're not getting it very purpley here. But this will be great because this will do me as a pre-tone from when I do my colour creates. That saves me pre-toning it. Right, how quick was that? That's me just about done. Remember, all about the blend, right? All about the blend. So take it, blend it. nothing nicer than a nice blonde. I'm not even thinking about what I'm doing here, guys. I'm just lifting up colours and I'm just placing them where I feel, because I don't want that stripy look, or I don't want it to look as if I've meant to place it there. I just want it looking nice and soft with loads of different tones running through it. Last wee section here. Put that into a wee bit thick, and I'll do a bit of amethyst through the front. You need to have a shot of the colour IDs are great. They're good to have a wee play. There, she's got a wee kind of Bob Marley theme going on here. And I'm just going to paint any wee bits that I see that I just think I just put another wee bit of tone on it. I don't really need to, but I don't like waste. So I quite like saturating the colour. It's quite nice. Pink. Maybe put a wee bit of pink on my hands. Push it through just the ends everywhere. Remember, no rules. Level 3's no rules, okay? Have a play. Have a play with colour. Colour's fun, should be fun. Really should be fun, and you should just be having a wee play about. Use this time in lockdown to get yourself into kind of playing about with different colours. See what you like, see what you don't like. Have a play. Because I'm actually having a play, I'm having a great time. Remember, all about the blend, and I'll keep on about that, but I'm terrible for, I always look to see if there's any lines. I can't stand the thought of a line. Like I'm looking through here and I'm going, I don't know whether it's right, but I just want a bit of pink on that. So she's going to wait to develop, okay? So she'll see you soon. And clean my mess up. Okay, see you soon.